Hello, everybody, and welcome to Turn to Page 41. Danger Time. How you doing, Raps?
I've been imperiled by the title. I didn't think I was, and yet I've been made aware that it is now danger time.
It is just such a blunt title. Like,
Yep.
we went from 40 Zombie School, 41 Danger Time.
42 is also very blunt. All Day Nightmare.
Yeah, it is pretty. I mean, I'm surprised that they didn't just boil that one down to it's a nightmare.
Bad dream.
Bad dream.
Constant bad dream.
Unreleased book 43. It's just called Goosebumps. It's just self-titled.
In the spirit of modern horror, it would be called Goosebump, and it would be a reboot to the franchise.
And if they were going to be a tech startup, they'd remove a vowel. They'd be Goosebump. Or Goose.bmp.
If they were an app, if they released an app, it would be Goosebumper with just an R at the end directly.
It's true. I was going to say, before we started recording, it seems, so 41 Danger Time, we're kind of getting to the point here. Well, first of all, we are getting near the end of the original run of the books, but also, maybe I can see why, because we did time theme already. You know?
Yeah, TikTok You're Dead. It was the second.
The TikTok You're Dead, we already did that. And All Day Nightmare, as far as I'm aware, is about an actual like nightmare becoming true, which is like, we just did that. That was super recent.
Yeah, which is a couple of them. All Day Nightmare's cover is also a bunch of what I can only assume to be wolves or werewolves attempting to clamber up a tree to grab you, which also happened extremely recently.
Yeah. If I didn't know that the unreleased number 43 book was about surviving in the Arctic and the cover was apparently penguins, evil penguins, I would say that maybe 43 is just going to be Zombie School, like, but slightly different. Because we're just really getting, they're just running out.
Zombie School, held back after class.
No, it's just also called Zombie School because they just forgot.
They use the same cover.
They use the cover. They're like, they think they found a piece of art online and then they use it, but it's actually the actual cover for Zombie School, and they use it as a reference for a new cover for the new Zombie School. Could you make something kind of like this?
They do that to the degree that it's a Give Yourself Goosebumps book, and in the little inlet where they have the art is just another Give Yourself Goosebumps book of the original Zombie School.
Yeah. But hey, we haven't mentioned anything about this cover. I think there's a reason. It's a clock with a face on it.
Which I honestly think is the largest reason that it's evocatively similar to TikTok You're Dead in the past. Whereas, like, TikTok You're Dead was, you've traveled into a museum and you might be traveling into the future or the past. I do believe this might just be a very angry grandfather clock.
Oh my God, I would
what
love
I'm
it.
saying.
My name is Danger Time.
He's actually just really, really cool. His name's just Danger Time.
I mean, I really like his face. He's going for more of like, this is a grandfather clock come to life instead of a weird, giant, disembodied, strange green face clock. Like, I get it. But also, I don't have anything more to say about this one. He's missing lots of teeth.
I have one final thing.
What's that?
Do you want to give a little bit of a quick look over to the right side?
Oh my God!
Exactly. So there's some art up on the back wall, and above Craig White's name, the name of the author, name of the artist rather for the project, there is art that we might recognize from a previous book. Your Plant Food is there.
That's true. It's what I would say up until this point, which is almost all of the points, is the scariest cover to me.
Yep.
There's something so unsettling about that one. So, hey, I wonder if they knew. But alas, do you want to take us to what is going to be the thing we use as the Beware page, since we don't have one, technically?
Yes, in lieu of the typical Beware page that we usually have at the start of these, we have the summary that they have on the wiki, which is usually just the blurb
It's
from the
just
background.
back, yeah, which is basically the same thing.
Beware! Do not read this book from beginning to end. Not a second to lose. There's a new store at the mall and it looks really cool. It's about time and it's filled with all sorts of clocks and a mysterious storekeeper named Kronos. He's a wizard who says he needs your help defusing a time bomb. If it explodes, it'll stop time. Forever. But you better watch out. A bunch of thugs called Time Police just burst in with some nasty looking weapons. Do you try and help Kronos run away? If you stick with the wizard, you'll be transported to another time warp, where creatures from the Zodiac are on the prowl. If you bolt, you'll face the fierce-looking Time Police, who look pretty ticked off at you.
Time Police.
Time Police!
Also, it's like you meet a store owner. He's Kronos. He's a wizard. Help him defuse a time bomb. Like, that just went from 0 to 100 so fast.
Look, if you're a wizard,
yeah,
and your name is Kronos,
yes,
and you don't get into some sort of time magics, what are you doing?
It's true. Is that true?
That's nominative determinism down to the core. Like, the parents have to have looked down and gone, nah, this is a time wizard. We're calling him Kronos. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, sure. It's either that or he changed his name after. He was like, I want to sound cool. His name is actually like Eric Foreman.
I was thinking his original name is like Pyromancer, and he's like, no, I'm rebelling. I'm going to learn time magic instead.
My name is Firefighter Johnson. I am a time wizard. Yeah. Well, hey, I want to meet him, so let's get into the book. Page 1.
Page 1. Come on, we have to hurry.
You call over your shoulder.
Starship Avenger starts in 10 minutes.
You hate being late. Your friend Arnie trots behind you, struggling to keep up. He's not exactly an athlete.
Everyone wants to see this movie.
He pants.
It's awesome.
You glance back. Your kid brother, Pat, has stopped to look in the window of a bicycle store, of course. He's 3 years younger than you and totally annoying. He can't ever follow a plan or a schedule.
Will you come on?
You yell at your brother.
You're gonna make us late again. Yeah, I'm coming,
he says. He strolls towards you. A snail could move faster. The movie theater is around the corner, and you rush ahead to buy tickets. There's no line. That's relief. Then you discover why there's no line.
Oh no,
you gasp. Turn to page 2 to find out what's wrong. You stare at the sign in the box office window.
Sold out? I don't believe it!
You exclaim. Arnie groans beside you. Pat finally reaches you and you grab his shoulder.
You see that, Shine? You made us miss the movie! Let go!
Pat screams.
You better, or I'll tell!
Arnie steps between you and Pat.
Oh, come on.
He scans the street.
Hey, let's go check out that new store.
You glance over. The store is called It's About Time. That's weird. You were down this way yesterday. It used to be called It's Danger Time. You never noticed any you never noticed any new store, but you can't remember what was there. You shrug.
Might as well.
Arnie leads the way across the street. You drag Pat over. The store window is jammed with clocks. There are antique wind-ups, cuckoo clocks, digital clocks. One runs on 2 wires stuck into a potato. Brass astrological instruments glitter in the sunlight. A sign in the window reads, "Time problems? We have answers." You don't have a problem with time, but your brother sure does. This place gives you an idea. Maybe you could cure Pat of his bad habit of always making you late. Is the implication like we just give him a watch? I mean, like,
Yeah, a little way to keep his own schedule. I also do like the implication that time problems, we have answers. Not necessarily solutions. We just have answers.
yeah.
I was late for the film and I don't have a ticket. Ah, you see, that happened because you didn't arrive early enough.
Whoa. Are you a wizard?
Oh, damn.
Yes.
What are you?
Oh my goodness. You push the door open. Bong bong, bing bong. Wait, bong bong, bing bong. I don't know why that sends me more than anything so far. What doorbell goes bong bong, bing bong? I don't know. I hate it. You jump. The chimes in this place are really loud. You step inside and scan the shop. More clocks. Hundreds of them. Line the walls. The ceiling is dark blue with tiny twinkling lights. They look like stars and constellations. Faint glowing lines trace the outlines of the creatures of the zodiac. You'll definitely find a watch for Pat in here.
Hey, hello?
Arnie calls. No response.
Let's go!
Pat whines.
This is so boring.
Zap! From somewhere in the back, there's a flash of bright light. A man suddenly appears. Where'd he come from? You can't see a door. He has long white hair and a white beard. His white robe hangs down to brush his sandals. He walks towards you. I'm envisioning Merlin with sandals and socks. Right
Yes,
now.
so you know, like Merlin from like the old animation.
yes.
I can't remember the name of it.
Like Sword
Yes,
in the Stone?
that's it.
Yeah. I'm envisioning him, but with sandals and socks. I know it didn't say socks, but they are integral to my picture in my head.
Given the upcoming sentence as well, I'm also picturing him with like a face smoothing app run on him.
Where do you come from? Your scalp prickles. This is getting very weird. You notice his face is smooth and soft. He must be really old, but he doesn't have any wrinkles. And what's with the strange outfit?
I am Kronos.
He booms. His pale eyes bore into you.
You have come at a crucial moment. Together, we can save time.
Huh? What's with this guy? Find out on page 4. You glance at Arnie with raised eyebrows. He shrugs.
I think we're in the wrong place.
You say. You shove Pat towards the door. Slam. The front door crashes open. 2 men in black jumpsuits and black helmets rush in, their eyes hidden by dark visors. One holds up a big gold watch, the other snarls.
Time police! Nobody move! You're all under arrest!
Your mouth drops open. What's going on? Is Kronos some kind of criminal? And what are time police? Is everyone crazy? Kronos reaches behind a counter and pulls out a long scythe. The light glitters along its razor-sharp edge.
Back off!
He orders. The time police stop and glance at each other. Whoa, what'd you get yourself into?
Help me!
Kronos begs you. He never takes his eyes off the guys in black.
Before it's too late!
You hesitate. Arnie tips his head towards a side door.
Let's get out of here.
He urges.
While we still can.
Pat tugs at your arm.
I'm scared.
The time police scare you too. They look like they mean business. But Kronos really seems to need your help. If you help, go to page 66. If you run away, turn to page 20.
It's gotta be 66, right? We gotta help this scythe-wielding Merlin.
I mean, theoretically, yes. It was basically just the only pushback was I was trying to remember what, because we could piece together what the correct answer was. Or not correct answer, for us, based off of what was on the back cover. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that is true. We would either have to deal with the time police personally if we stayed here, or we deal with the creatures of the Zodiac in the time warp.
I want to help Merlin casual cookout dad.
Let's do it. On page 66.
We'll help you.
You tell Kronos.
What should we do? You're warned!
The time police nod at each other. You back away in terror. What will they do to you? Kronos points his scythe at the time police. You hear a crack of thunder. A bolt of lightning shoots from the tip of the blade. Your heart pounds as you duck and shield your eyes. The lightning passes between the two time police. The room fills with the odor of scorched hair. They fall to the floor.
Quick, go through the back door.
Kronos orders.
I will join you in a moment when I tell you about your mission.
You're the man.
You say to Arnie and Pat.
Move it.
Move it to page 97. You heard Arnie and Pat through the door and followed them. Arnie stops short and gasps in amazement. You bang into him. Your eyes widen and your jaw drops. In front of you is what looks like a whole new world. This sure isn't any downtown street. You see a meadow, a dense forest, even craggy mountains covered with snow. Overhead, hundreds of stars gleam brightly. Wait, how can you see the stars when the countrysides in front of you is so well lit? Must be some sort of magic.
Where are we?
Pat asks, his voice quavering with fear.
How did we get here?
I don't know.
Arnie replies slowly.
More important,
You murmur.
how do we get back?
Kronos appears beside you.
That depends on you.
He announces.
You must succeed in the mission before you. If you do, you'll return home safely. If not...
Gulp. Turn to page 101.
If not what?
You demand.
If you fail, no one will survive.
Kronos responds.
The whole universe will be destroyed.
Your mind reels. Can you be telling the truth? Is the fate of the universe in your hands? That's seriously scary.
Where are we?
Pat asks.
What is this place?
You are in the world of the Zodiac.
Kronos explains.
What, you mean like horoscopes and signs?
Arnie asks.
Cool. The signs you speak of only represent the Zodiac.
Kronos replies.
Here, around the great time hub of the universe, the creatures of the Zodiac are real and alive.
But what about us?
You wonder.
Why do you need our help?
Time thieves have planted a bomb at the hub.
Kronos tells you.
It is where all time originates. Only someone from a different time frame can get through the hub's barricades.
What do the time thieves want?
They want to steal my time money and my time house.
And they want to wear my time sandals, which they will totally stretch out with their big time feet.
You ask.
They
want us to break the rules of time so they can steal from other time frames.
Kronos replies.
If the bomb explodes, the time thieves are the only ones who would survive.
This is some mission.
You murmur. Hear the rest on page 114.
Whole universe?
Yeah.
Absolutely destroyed. Time thieves, though, don't count. They're not in the universe, you see.
Yeah, I am already confused by these rules and the stakes. Like, and we've heard one page of exposition about it, and I'm already like, I mean, is this true? Are you telling the truth, mister?
It does seem like a more traditional story that they looked at and went, it could use more time, and just wrote time before a lot of the words in it.
Yeah. Oh, I have to get home to see my time kids and my time wife. 114.
Hey, what about those two time police?
Asks Arnie.
Why'd they attempt to arrest you? They are nothing but tools of the time thieves.
Kronos snaps.
Pay no attention to them. Here.
Kronos pulls an hourglass from the folds of his robe. He gives it to Arnie. It's about a foot high, made of dark polished wood and greenish glass with tiny bubbles in it. The upper part is filled with pure white sand.
What is that?
You ask.
The etheric vibrations of the device are keyed to that of the bomb.
Cronus explains. Huh, the what?
Set this on the hub before the last grain of sand falls.
Cronus continues.
In that way, you will disarm the bomb.
Arnie stares at the hourglass and grows pale. You gulp. Pat, and Arnie, responsible for saving time? What if you fail? Kronos gazes deeply into your eyes.
You are our only hope.
Turn to page 18.
Save us, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, but also, where was it expressed why we are the only ones that can help?
So, the only version of that so far has been that you need to be from a different time frame in order to get through the barricades in the time hub, which
of
is a
course.
wild sentence.
Yes,
but also,
course.
anyone that's not a time wizard, assumedly, would be that.
Yeah, that's like literally anyone more competent than a random child that you found who walked into your place that you're kidnapping. I don't know, whatever.
You know, I'm just
We'll
gonna
see.
chalk it up to right place, right time.
Don't get me wrong. I'm vibing with this story. I really am vibing with this. I'm time vibing with this story. All right, page 18.
So, where is the bomb?
You ask.
How do we find it?
This always points towards the hub.
Kronos explains. He hands you a sickle. The handle is smooth wood. The crescent blade is dark blue, and it vibrates in your hand.
It will help guide you,
He continues.
but take care. It cannot warn of dangers in your path, and the most direct route is not always the swiftest or the safest.
Dangers?
Arnie gulps.
What dangers?
Kronos ignores him.
I must get back. The time lock I set on the time police will wear off soon. I will try to distract them. I want to keep them from discovering your mission. Now go!
He turns and vanishes. You blink. How did he do that?
I guess we should get going.
Arnie says.
But, which way?
Just ahead, the path forks. The left branch leads into the meadow, which could leave you exposed. The right branch enters a forest where you could get lost. The sickle points straight between them.
Thanks a lot, Kronos.
You grumble.
This sickle isn't much help. So just pick a path.
Pat says. Meadow path 109. Path into the woods 45.
So do we have strategic information that we would like to employ in this instance, or should we just go like the meadows or woods sounds good?
Well, yeah, I kind of think it's the only thing I have to go on with that is if being exposed is not a thing that the sickle could theoretically help us with, being lost is theoretically something the sickle could help us with.
Love it.
That's all I have. So
Yep. If you've got a compass, why would you care so much about losing your orientation in the woods?
yeah, I mean, we'll see because it's already kind of, messed up already, but still, we'll see. You set off through the forest. The trees meet overhead, blocking the light. You stumble along the murky, overgrown path. Roots trip you, and branches reach out to rake your face.
I don't like it here.
Pat complains.
Why did we come this way?
You wonder that yourself, but you don't say so.
I think I see a clearing.
Arnie announces. He starts to trot. Pat runs to keep up with him, and you pick up speed.
Whoop!
You trip over your shoelace. You go sprawling. You catch your breath and scramble to your feet. You double tie your shoelaces and glance around. Arnie and Pat are nowhere in sight. The path narrows and threads between two huge mossy boulders. You can't see the other side. They must be through there, you figure. You hurry through. Yikes! 2 big, ugly giants leap down from the rocks. They look exactly alike. Each grabs one of your arms.
Mine!
They declare at the same time. They start to pull you in opposite directions. Whoa! These ugly dudes are strong! Tug yourself over to page 77.
Ow! That hurts!
You cry.
Cut it out! It talks.
One gasps. The tension in your arms eases. You gaze up and up and up and up. You realize the giants are identical twins, larger than life and twice as ugly. Isn't your uncle's sign Gemini the twins? That explains the double vision in front of you.
Of course I talk.
You tell them.
I'm here on an important mission. Please, let me go. You can't unless you answer our riddle.
The one gripping your left arm says.
It's a rule.
Uh-oh. This sounds like double trouble.
Why shouldn't you say secrets near a clock?
The one on the right demands. He smiles, revealing long yellow teeth. You hesitate. The twins pull your arms again. Your shoulders feel as if they're about to come apart. You better come up with an answer before they tear you in half. If you think the answer has something to do with hidden microphones, turn to page 13. If you think it has something to do with an old saying, turn to page 121.
I mean,
Don't
we
know-
can determine from this pretty
Don't-
easily that it's going to be 121.
I don't know the saying off the top of my head that they're implying. Because
I'm thinking like tell the time.
oh, something tells
Something.
time, something.
Something danger time, exactly.
Something, it's danger time. Hold on while we find the page here. Our book is currently not loading. Was 121?
121.
All right, there we go.
I know.
You declare.
You shouldn't say secrets around a clock because time will tell.
Ow. They release your arms and point at each other.
You told him the answer.
They accuse each other.
Did not.
They reply.
Did so.
They retort. You shake your head. These two argue worse than you and Pat, and they yell everything simultaneously, so it's twice as annoying. They grab your arms again.
You
cheated. They announce.
You have to answer another riddle.
What? You don't have time for this. You have to do something. Quick. But what? Think of something on page 98. Oh, heavens. Technical book difficulties? If you continue to play the twins' guessing game, sooner or later you will lose. And you can't afford to lose. You have a duty to save time. But what can you do? You can't fight them. The twins outnumber you 2-1. And each of them is twice your size as well. That makes them twice as dangerous. You'll have to outsmart them, which shouldn't be too hard. It seems as if they only have half a brain between them.
It's my turn to ask a riddle.
You tell them. The twins look stunned. Then they release your arms and clap their hands.
Oh, goody. No one ever asks us to guess. Okay, here goes.
You announce.
You're walking through the woods and you meet an enormous, hungry lion. What time is it?
They rub their chins. They scratch their heads. They blink.
Give up?
You demand.
It's time to run.
And you do. Run to page 64. I'm
We
sad
don't
it's not
get
danger
it.
time. It's not danger. They had it. It's
That would
danger
have been
time.
so good.
Sorry, we don't get it. You
What?
hear the twins
We don't
shout.
get it. You should
"Fine,
have said danger time.
You should have danger time. It was right there in the title. While the giants try and figure out your riddle, you race away and you spot a clearing up ahead. You hope you'll find Arnie and Pat there. You break through the bushes. Oh no. They're there all right. Each is trapped in a claw of an enormous crab. It's another zodiac creature, and it's not very friendly. They spot you.
Help!
Arnie yelps. Oh, wait, Pat
It's
wails.
squishing me!
Oh,
Arnie yelps.
these claws are really sharp.
The crab's eye stalks twist around and stare at you. It's really gross to watch. You're grateful it only has 2 claws, or you'd be trapped like Arnie and Pat.
Don't worry.
You call.
I'll think of something.
But how do you deal with a crab the size of an army tank? The only weapon you have is a sickle, and it's so small compared to the crab. Of course, the sickle does have magical powers. Too bad you don't know what they are. You might find a better weapon in the woods, but will Arnie and Pat be seafood snacks before you return? To look for a weapon, go to page 16. If you attack the crab with the sickle, page 95.
I do wonder if the book is going to end up approaching the pun. They don't have it, but cancer does have them.
I'm going to say probably not.
Dang.
I
don't know. Why would we think there is going to be a better weapon than a magical sickle given to us by a time wizard in the forest?
Yeah, my only fear with using it is that it might be like then you lose, you got smacked away, you lost the sickle, or it broke, or something like that, and then we would need it later. But I don't know how often.
That's fair. Like that. And if we go look for a weapon, like if we come back and Pat and Arnie are both in half, then that will be a dead end, and we'll return here.
Yeah.
So maybe we want to risk that.
I mean, with that in mind, should we? I mean, because I do agree that 16 going to look for weapons seems like a loss, but a loss on 95 using the sickle is a worse loss.
Yeah.
So we might as well take the potential L on 16, I think. And
also, what if we go to 16 and we just find a better sickle?
It's a sickle. It's twice as big, which means it's twice as strong.
Twice as dangerous.
Yeah. But it has half the brain of yours.
Which means, hang on, so, wait, is that a multiplier negative? No.
I'll be right back.
You shout to Pat and Arnie.
Hurry!
Pat wails. You scan the edge of the clearing. On one side of the ground slopes upwards, and it becomes rockier. Gives you an idea. You'll shove a boulder downhill towards the clearing. The crab might be startled enough to... I know. I'll push a giant boulder near the crab. Might be startled enough to drop Arnie and Pat. You wind through the tumbled rocks, then you freeze. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice a movement. You slowly turn your head towards it, and a chill prickles all the way from your scalp to your toes. A giant scorpion creeps around a boulder. It's almost as big as your brother. But, okay. You've never seen one before, except on the astrology page. But you know what it is. The monster's tail curves up over its back, poised to strike. Deadly poison drips from the stinger at the end of the tail. Yikes! Turn to page 30. Terrified, you turn to run. Also, I wanted to say, like, if we're approached by a giant scorpion, I don't know what it says about me where I'm like, oh, he's the size of my brother? That's not a big enough scorpion to be scared of.
Yeah.
I think that's just...
Like, that's maximum a large scorpion, okay?
That's
Save giant for things that are twice the size of me and twice as dangerous.
Yeah, that's the ads that get spawned in the boss fight. Like, that's just fine.
Yeah, I'm not going to individually have to deal with these. If I kill the boss, this'll die. Like, it's on that level.
Yeah. Terrified, you turn to run. Then you hesitate. You came up here looking for a weapon. What if you just found what you were looking for? If you lure the scorpion to the clearing, maybe it'll just fight the crab. Well, you and your friends escape. As the scorpion approaches, you start down the slope. You can't let the scorpion get close enough to sting you, but you need to keep it interested in chasing you. Now you know how fish bait feels. Sweat runs down your forehead into your eyes, and finally you reach the edge of the clearing. The crab hasn't moved, neither have Pat and Arnie. They're still trapped in the crab's claws.
Help!
They shout when they see you.
Help!
Then they see the scorpion and go silent. You race around to the other side of the clearing, and now the crab is between you and the scorpion. You pick up a rock the size of an orange. You hurl it at the scorpion over the crab. Bullseye! The rock bounces off the scorpion's shell, and the scorpion scuttles forward to attack. The plan is working. It thinks the crab did it.
Get ready to run!
You call to Arnie and Pat. Turn to page 27.
We found a weapon. It's a scorpion.
Yeah. The crab scoots sideways and opens its claws. Arnie and Pat tumble to the ground, and frantically they crawl to your side. You help them to their feet, and the three of you hurry towards the path. The scorpion rushes at the crab, and the crab sidles sideways again. Its jaws move. Sounds come out. You stop. Your eyes widen in shock. Those aren't just the sounds the crabs make. They're words.
Those two are mine.
The crab declares.
You take the troublemaker.
Whoa, it's talking about you. You're too stunned to run. Pat and Arnie are standing beside you, staring. The crab grabs Arnie and Pat in its claws again, and the scorpion stops a few feet away. Its tail strikes so fast you don't even see it happen. All you know is you can't move. You are paralyzed for the rest of your life. Don't get upset. The rest of your life won't take too long. You and your friends aren't going to complete your mission. That bomb is going to go off, and if Kronos is right, all of the time will come to an end. Any minute now, the end. Well, make me feel guilty then, why don't you?
You know, they didn't give us the ability to demonstrate, hey, I think these might speak, because, you know, when we encountered the Gemini twins and they would speak,
Yeah,
I do wish there was a little bit of a, like, oh, do you want to get the scorpion and crab to interact? Do you think that might be a problem?
yeah. Well,
I'd like to tell the story that.
well, now we know that this path, if it takes away our sickle, it's nothing we can do about it. So, hey.
It's true.
You pull the sickle from your belt and you raise it high over your head. The blade gleams. The crab's jaws move.
Kronos.
It croaks. You stare. Did you imagine that? It sets Arnie and Pat down on the ground.
Friends of Kronos.
It says.
That makes you friends of Tom.
The sickle. That's what changed the crab's attitude. Maybe its magic is letting you understand what the crab is saying?
Right.
You agree.
Friends of Time, that's us. You bet. Arnie, show our pal the hourglass.
Arnie pulls the hourglass from inside his shirt. When he holds it up, your heart sinks. Most of the sand has already flowed into the lower compartment.
We've got to hurry.
You declare.
We have to get to the hub right away.
I will take you.
The crab announces. Catch the next crab to page 36. I like that. I like that. The three of you climb onto the crab's back. It's so large, each sideways steps covers a lot of ground.
Look,
Pat whispers.
we're being followed.
You turn and gasp. You see a young woman in a silver robe, and a goat with horns of light, a bull, a lion.
The Zodiac creatures.
Arnie murmurs.
They're all here, just as Kronos said.
The crab stops. You spot a marble slab set into the ground, and a silver pillar rises from the center. On top of the pillar is a twisted mass of black wire. Looking at it makes your stomach lurch. You know that must be the bomb.
The hub of Tom.
The crab tells you.
The center of all.
Quick, Arnie,
You urge.
put the hourglass on the pillar.
Arnie approaches the marble slab and stops. His foot is poised a few inches above the ground.
I can't.
He declares. He sounds frightened.
I can't get any closer. There's something stopping me.
Go to page 116. Pat's face flushes red.
Finish the job.
He screams.
I just want to go home.
Arnie whirls around.
Hey, don't you think I'm trying?
He shouts at Pat.
There's some kind of barrier, you jerk!
Uh-oh. Usually Arnie's the peacekeeper. You better do something before he and Pat get into a serious fight. You scan the crowd of zodiac creatures.
Does anyone have an idea?
You call.
We're running out of time.
They all stare silently at you, and it gives you the creeps.
Okay.
You mutter. You scratch your head with the sickle. Duh! You had the answer all along! The sickle! You hurry over to Arnie, you hold the sickle in front of you, you tap against the invisible barrier, and nothing happens. Nothing. Except a few more grains of sand trickle down in the hourglass. Will time run out on page 74?
What are we, Grim from Bill and Mandy, using the sickle to scratch our head?
You wave the sickle in front of you. You bring it down in a karate chop. You swing it frantically back and forth.
Do something!
You yell at the sickle. You jab and poke at the air. Your hand jerks as if the sickle wedged into something. You release the sickle. Your eyes widen. It hangs in the air in front of you. Slowly, a cage appears around the hub.
This must be the fairy I felt.
Arnie exclaims. The sickle is jammed into a lock. You grab it and turn it as if it were a key, and a door pops open. You hurry inside, you place the hourglass on the bomb, and just as the final grains of sand trickle down, crack! The bomb shatters. It falls to pieces onto the ground, and a cheer goes up behind you.
Woohoo, yeah. We did it!
Pat shouts.
We saved time!
You grin. Feels good to be a hero, and you definitely learned something. You're never going to believe in astrology again. Sure, these zodiac creatures are real, but they were hardly any help, so why should you take their advice? Horoscopes may be fun, but they can be so unreliable. The end. That's speedrun.
Speedrun?
That was basically if we didn't. I think that was. If we just didn't double check the weapon, that would have been a perfect run. Holy moly!
I think it still kind of counts because we did double check that weapon with an eye towards we'll probably die on this path. But
yeah, but dang, I mean, that's a speed earn right there. I'll admit I'm curious.
Extremely speed earned.
To maybe we're done so fast. I mean that is undoubtedly a oh my gosh. Oh no. That is undoubtedly a good ending.
Yes, absolutely. Although very sudden of a good ending. I did kind of expect to see Kronos again, perhaps.
My wonder is, was it such a sudden ending because we picked a pretty deathless path straight there? Maybe, I don't know. So we could the options are go back to page 45 and give Gemini the wrong answer for the riddle. Or we go back to page 18, which is pretty far back, all the way back to going to the meadow instead of the woods. Which I feel like is the last. I think that's how far back we're gonna have to go to get a real path.
I think so as well, because giving Gemini the wrong answer is almost certainly just going to be an immediate death.
Well, so this is all the way back. If you want to,
Let's do it. Let's head to the meadow on page 109.
Well, we'll give it a couple deaths, and we'll see. So this is picking between the woods and the meadow when the sickle is pointing directly between the two of them. You walk down the path to the meadow. The grass comes up to your waist. Unusual flowers send out strange scents. You follow the path over a rise and down into the valley. It's so quiet that all you can hear are your feet crunching the grass. This isn't so dangerous, you think? Did Kronos exaggerate? Maybe he wanted to make your mission seem more important so you would do what he says. You glance around. Oh man, where's Pat? Falling behind as usual. How'd you end up with such a slowpoke for a brother?
Pat!
You call loudly.
Pat?
You glance back. Pat appears at the top of the rise. He races down towards you. You've never seen him run so fast. He must have decided to listen to you for a change.
Help!
Pat screams.
Help!
Run to page 126. Uh-oh. Why is Pat so frightened, you wonder? A moment later, you find out. An enormous white ram appears at the top of the hill behind Pat. Your eyes widen. It's as big as a truck, curled horns shimmering like gold. It pauses at the top of the low hill, its fiery red eyes staring down at you.
What is that thing?
You gasp. Arnie snaps his fingers.
Remember what Kronos told us? In this world, the zodiac creatures are real. So that ram must be Aries.
Pat rushes up to you. He grabs your arm to steady himself and tries to catch his breath. He's too winded to speak.
What should we do?
You say.
I think it thinks that we're trespassing.
I got an idea.
Arnie replies.
My astrological sign is Aries. It's like I'm related. You know, maybe I can make friends with it.
Friends?
You repeat.
I don't know.
The ram lowers its head. It's charging. Do something. Run from the ram on page 23 or tell Arnie to try and make friends with it on 26. I mean, we do know that they talk.
We do know they talk.
This is basically the give us a chance to try and talk to them that we didn't get on the other path.
I think we can talk with the animals, squawk with the animals.
Walk like the animals.
Exactly.
All right. Maybe Arnie's right. Maybe we can make friends with the ram. Anything's possible in this bizarre world. The ram charges down the path. You and Pat fling yourself into tall grass. You feel Pat trembling beside you, and you hope he can't feel you shiver with fear. Arnie plants himself at the side of the path. He's ready to leap out of the way if he has to, and the ram is only yards away now. It lowers its head to attack. The huge, curling horns glitter.
Hey, we're friends!
Arnie calls.
My sign's Aries. That means we're practically related, right?
You hold your breath. Will it work? Turn to page 80. The ram screeches to a halt. It eyes Arnie carefully. Then it butts him very gently in the stomach.
It's okay. You guys can come out.
Arnie calls.
We're friends now.
Come on.
You help Pat to his feet. He gets up slowly, and you can tell he's still scared. You're kind of shaky too, but you don't want Pat to know that. You dart over to Arnie.
Hey, say hello to Aries.
Arnie grins.
Hi, Aries.
You respond.
Bye, Aries.
You want to get back to the mission. Besides, just because Aries is friendly now doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Let's go.
You and Pat hurry along the path. Arnie follows more slowly. He seems reluctant to leave Aries. The feeling is mutual. Aries trots along behind you, and the ram crashes through bushes, knocks over trees. If you hope to make it to the hub without being noticed, this is not the way to do it. Should you try and lose the ram, or should you just stick to the path and keep going?
I mean,
I like the ram.
I like the big sheep.
I like the big sheep. So, page 19. I mean,
what are you gonna give up your giant animal weapon friend? Absolutely.
yeah. So we're not quiet? Who cares? We got big giant animal weapon friends. if somebody
Exactly.
comes to say hi. Trying to lose the ram might create more problems, you decide. You'll just have to stay out of the way of the falling trees. You reach the banks of a rushing river.
Now what?
Arnie asks. He has to shout to be heard over the crashing and churning water. You hold out the sickle and it grows warm in your hands. It drags you to the edge of the river.
Well, we're definitely supposed to cross the water.
You announce. The ram spins around on its hooves. You watch Aries vanish back into the woods. You, Pat, and Arnie are on your own again.
Hey, what's with Aries?
Arnie wonders. He sounds nervous.
Maybe he's afraid he'll shrink if he gets wet?
You reply.
You know, like a wool sweater does. How do we get across?
Pat stares at the wild water. You glance up the river to a waterfall and your eyes widen. You discover why the current is so powerful. This is no normal river. The water's gushing out of an enormous clay water jug, and the jug is being held by the shoulder of a towering giant. Turn to page 85.
We have discovered Aquarius.
One would surmise. Yes, okay. Arnie gasps.
We've discovered Aquarius!
He exclaims.
The water carrier. Another one of the zodiac signs. He's got to be creating that river.
How do we get across the river? Swim?
You ask.
I can't swim.
Pat reminds you.
Can we walk on the rocks?
You peer down at the rocks and they look slippery.
Oh, can we ask Aquarius to stop for a minute?
Pat asks.
He's really far away.
You point out.
It could take days to reach him, and we don't have that kind of time. Hey,
Pat tugs your sleeve.
why don't we go across that bridge?
You spot one good reason. Aquarius turns slowly back and forth, filling the river. Some of the time, the stream of water thunders onto the rocks at the head of the river. The rest of the time, it hits the bridge.
We have to get across.
You mutter.
But which way do we go?
Cross over the rocks on 115, cross over the bridge on page 28.
I mean...
It's saying half of the time, the rocks are bad. The other half, the bridge is bad. Make an educated guess on which is better in this 50-50. I mean, I guess I do have a guess.
Well, yeah, exactly. Surely the thing that is constructed for going across, rather than the things that are not constructed for going across.
I mean...
even if it's hit with water.
Slippery rocks are so dangerous. So,
Extremely. I sliced my foot open walking on a rock pool once.
oh my goodness. It happens. Yeah, let's not have that repeat. Page 28. Wait, did I pick the right one? Yes. You hike up the hill to the bridge. As you get closer, you notice the bridge is very narrow, but it has no handrails. It's more like a wide plank than a real bridge. The water pours out of Aquarius's jug. It shifts from the river to the bridge and back, and it makes so much noise you can't think. When it hits the bridge, it booms like thunder. When it hits the river, it hisses like 1,000 snakes. Booms, booms, booms. Arnie puts his mouth close to your ear.
Hey, do you notice something?
He yells.
Yeah!
You shout back.
It's got rhythm!
Can you work out the giant's timing? If so, you can cross the bridge while the water from the jug hits the river. You watch and count, and finally you think you've got it figured out.
Okay,
You shout.
get ready. 1, 2, 3, go!
It's all in the timing, so quick, look at the clock. If the hour is odd, turn to 81. If it's the hour is even, turn to page 128. I will say, in my
I
time
believe it
zone-
is guaranteed that we
Wait!
each have this differently.
Wait, yeah. Oh, are we off by a different amount? Wait, what? It's 5:55
Well, because
here.
like 4 p.m. Yeah, it's 8:55 here. So
Perfect.
4 p.m. is my 7, so I know that we're odd and even on this. Usually we have some version of like feigning that each of us got different results of this and then immediately reveal our
Yeah.
hand. But we have to categorically have different results of this.
It's true. And also, worst comes to worst, we could wait 5 minutes. 4 minutes. So, like, let's just go with the first one, whichever one that is. Oh, no.
Literally anyone on the hour is odd.
Actually, that one's not searchable, so let me see if 128 is searchable. And if so, we'll just do that one instead. Okay.
All right.
Arnie and Pat rush out onto the bridge, so you bring up the rear. The damp wood is slick, but you don't have time to be too careful. The roar of the rushing river fills your ears, the thick mist filling your nose. It's hard to breathe. You wipe the droplets from your eyelids and blink to clear your eyes. ... Huh. Oh no! The stream of water from the giant's jug is moving back towards the bridge. Did you get the timing wrong? Did he change his pattern? Either way, you're in major trouble.
Back!
You scream.
Come back!
Pat and Arnie can't hear you over the noise. They don't realize the terrible danger they're in. You lunge forward and grab Pat's sleeve. Your feet slide out from under you. You and Pat tumble towards the river. The full force of the water hits Arnie. He plummets from the bridge. Oh well, looks as if this choice was all wet. The end. What?
You know the common phrasing, looks like a choice was all wet.
Yeah. That old chestnut. Sorry, that's a real phrase? All right, 80,
That wet
81.
chestnut.
Things are coming up wet chestnut. So let's go to 81, the one we meant to pick. Fine.
Of course.
Didn't because the book search didn't work for it. You dart forward. The stream of water moves off the bridge. You got the timing right. The damp wood is slippery. You take quick, careful steps. You keep your eyes fixed on the far bank. You made it. You leap on a dry land and sigh with relief. You glance back to see how Arnie and Pat are doing, and you gasp. Pat stands in the middle of the bridge, staring down at the river 30 feet below. He's obviously too scared to move, with Arnie trapped in back, pushing him forward. Pat teeters back and forth on the narrow bridge. His mouth opens wide to scream. Horrified, you notice the stream from the jug start to move back towards Pat and Arnie. If it hits them, they will lose their balance and fall. Below them are jagged rocks and a raging river. This is so not good. Turn to page 68. You can't let Pat and Arnie drown. You take a deep breath and rush back out onto the bridge.
Pat!
You shout.
Give me your hand! Follow me!
The powerful stream of water is just yards away. It shifts towards you. Pat blinks, with his eyes finally focusing on you. He reaches out his arm slowly. You grab his hand.
Come on!
You hurry back towards the bank. You can't move too quickly. You don't want to fall off the narrow bridge. Pat stumbles along behind you. You feel drops of spray on the back of your neck, and in a few seconds, you'll be caught by the waterfall. You stand aside and shove Pat in front of you, practically throwing him onto the bank. Then you leap after him. Arnie's right behind you, and a moment later, the force of water knocks you flat. Turn to page 73. You shut your eyes and hold your breath. Mud goes up your nose, in your eyes. Just when you're sure your lungs will burst, the stream passes. Dazed, you sit up and wipe the mud from your face. Arnie pushes the wet hair away from his face and grins.
Hey, who has the towels?
He jokes. Then he glances at the hourglass and his face becomes serious.
Oh, we better hurry. We don't have much time.
I'm tired.
Pat complains.
I want to rest. You'll get one.
You promise?
When we reach the hub.
And, unless we reach that hub in time,
Arnie adds.
you'll rest forever.
The path becomes hilly and winding. You hurry along, scanning both sides for new dangers. You're wet, cold, and scared. Each rock and bush seems threatening to you. Even the clouds look menacing. Suddenly, Pat yells.
There it is!
He points up the path. A pillar of silver gleams at the top of a grassy knoll.
We did it!
You shout triumphantly.
Oh no, we're nearly out of time!
Arnie declares. You whirl around and stare at the hourglass. Only a tiny bit of sand remains in the upper section. Turn to page 86. I do wonder if we're going to meet the same thing here. 86. You snatch the hourglass from Arnie's hands and race up the path. The pillar stands in the center of a slab of white marble. On top of it is a shiny black box. That must be the time bomb! Your toe catches the edge of the slab, and off balance, you hurtle forward, your forehead slamming into the side of the pillar. You slump to the ground. With the last of your strength, you reach up and set the hourglass on top of the black box. Everything fades out until you hear voices above you.
Hey, come on! Hey, wake up! Are you all right?
You open your eyes. Arnie and Pat bend over you, and they look very worried.
Who hit me?
You mumble.
Nobody.
Pat replies.
You turned around to yell at me, and then you walked into a lamppost.
You sit up and glance around. Yep, there's the lampposts, and there's the theater. Just up the block, but weren't you somewhere else just a moment ago? It all seems so hazy.
Come on.
Arnie says. He helps you to your feet.
The movie's about to start. We've already got our tickets, and we got here just in time.
The end. Huh. Just
They did it. It was all a, I guess, knocked out fantasy dream.
it was all a fake. Huh.
We're just not allowed to meet Kronos again on this path, apparently.
Well, I mean, I will say there's a good chance we freaking nailed it. Like, I'm looking at, because I always I write out physically on paper the little chart of our choices, and I'm just seeing a clean line with no deaths and four paths today, 5 paths that we could have taken that could have gotten us killed. So I think there's a chance we just kind of like nailed this one, to be honest. So
Solid work, us.
good us, but also, yeah, I would have liked to meet Kronos. I guess maybe that's more on the other page or the other story, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be the case at this point. Kronos is in the Time Cop story. But
that would make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel strange that helping him is not the one where you spend any time with him.
yeah, it is strange. Or maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't exist. Maybe he's just
Yeah, that's true.
like, Figment. If going off of this, the whole thing was made up anyways, so who knows?
I mean, I like endings like this in Goosebumps where it's like, oh, the whole thing was a dream, and then you fish in your pocket and you
Yes.
see like the tool from it, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, but was it? You know?
Yeah. And this one doesn't have that. It's just the only implication would be we got here just in time. And maybe it's supposed to be like we saved time and that's why we are now able to make it to the movie correctly instead of I don't know. That's the only thing I've got
right.
on that.
Time was imperiled in
Yeah.
such a fashion that Kronos needed to manipulate. Like, Kronos bought out the whole cinema. He took every ticket so that we would actually have to go and look around the mall so
Yeah.
that he could then get us to help him with the time problem.
Maybe. But I don't know. I like the story.
He had a sign. He had a sign in his window that was like, "Time problems, we have answers," and that was just slightly more subtle than his original. If you do not have tickets, come in here and help me with saving
Yeah.
the world from a time bomb.
Please help. I liked it. I like this one. I like the theming. My downside just being like, a suffering from success moment of, I think we just kind of like wrecked the book so much that maybe we just didn't get to explore the universe of it a little bit more. But I liked the sort of Zodiac world kind of moving from set piece to set piece, and the set piece is like a Zodiac creature. I think that's fun. I think it was really a fun idea for an adventure world.
Yeah. It oddly reminds me of the Titan levels in Hercules PS1, where it's just these mythological creatures and their domain is themed exclusively and heavily around them. And when you, I guess also God of War in a similar
Yeah, I
kind
was
of
gonna
fashion.
say. It's just like, that's just, oof. It's so video game and I love it. It just, I love give me the set piece is a character and the zone is designed around them. It's like, ooh, magnifique, man. Love that. So I'm just, what? Books should be more like video games. There we go. That's the point I've ended up at. Sure.
Fully agreed.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we are playing Choose Your Own Adventure books, which is basically a gamified book. So
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess
This is a Let's Play series on books.
yeah. But hey, I guess that's probably, I think, 2 successful endings on 2 separate paths of the same side of the book is as good of a place to call it as any. Like,
Absolutely.
unless we want to like go back to die a lot, but I feel like I'm good. I feel satisfied knowing that the good endings. We got the good ending, the truly good ending first, and then it was all a dream, maybe not, but but only if you're really stretching the maybe not on this one. So
if we wanted to explore one of the deaths, the only one I would be particularly immediately interested in would be giving Gemini the wrong answer on page 13.
Let's do that.
Where I believe it's quite prompt.
All right, as a little treat, let's go die on page 13. The pain gets fiercer as the twins tug harder.
Stop!
You scream.
I got it! It's because the clock is bugged?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
They chant together. They start twisting your arms again.
Wait!
You plead.
Let me try another.
They glance at each other and shrug.
Okay. When do clocks die?
They ask in stereo. You try to concentrate, which is doubly hard to do when the twins' bad breath is in your face. When do clocks die? When they come unplugged? Some springs? Hands? The giant twins twist your arms super hard.
Ah!
You scream.
I don't know! I give up!
The twins give an evil laugh simultaneously.
Clocks die.
They boom.
When their time is up.
They bring their big ugly faces down to yours.
And now, your time is up too.
Too bad you didn't know the answer, but you can guess what time it is now. That's right. Time to close the book, because you've come to the end. This is the first time we see that one, and we're actually going to do that.
Exactly. They've actually come to the full conclusion here, because we can now close our book. We'll be using a digital copy, so I could not do the actual Foley for closing a book. Wait, hang on. I do have another book. It's not like the Foley would be different, but closing a different Goosebumps.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
What was the book?
We did it. We did it.
Also going to give myself a pat on the back. We got there.
We got there. And you know who helped us get there?
I do indeed.
Our lovely
executive producer for the episode, Alex Dredd. Thank you muchly for supporting over on patreon.com/raps. Whoops!
Oh.
I'm so used to saying that URL. Patreon.com/turn to pagecast.
Yeah. Patreon.com/turn. I mean, hey, if you want to support us both on our individual Patreons, we're probably not going to stop you. But yeah, patreon.com/turn to pagecast. Huge thank you, Alex Dredd, for the support over there, helping us do what we do. Yeah, and huge thank you to people who are subscribing over on the YouTube channel. We're getting super, super close to the 500 mark, which is what we need for partnership on there. If you want to help with that, it's super, super close now.
Would be deeply appreciated.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Next week is the last Give Yourself Goosebumps normal book that we have.
Mm-hmm.
That is some stuff. It's been a lot of books, but we've done it. 41 books done, one more to go, unless we can somehow get the canceled book number 43 that I don't think exists in any fashion anywhere at all. But hey.
That does feel like a thing that's going to come out as like lost media in 5 years, and there's going to be like one very long YouTube essay about it.
Hey, if someone has it, send it to us. If you got some kind of lead, we'll read the Funny Penguin book. I'll do it. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
So we have the one more book in the normal series, and then we've got the special little something we're going to be doing for 2 weeks before we go back to do the special editions, which is going to be very exciting. This Give Yourself Goosebumps special edition books. There was 8 of them, I think.
Oh, I thought there was 6. There might be 8.
There's 6 or 8. There's an amount of them.
An
and
even amount of them
there's
between
an-
0 and 10.
Here, let's see. Hold on. I'm going to run I have the book over here.
Excellent. Very excited, of
There's
course,
8.
for All Day Nightmare.
There's
Our
8.
final next. There's 8. You were right.
There's 8. I have the 8th one. So,
That makes sense.
yeah. So we got those. We got 8 more of the special editions. They're like apparently more challenging books, which, hey, hopefully that's challenging in a way that encourages playing well instead of challenging in the sense of losing a lot of coin flips. But we'll see. Hey, alas,
I'll make sure to get a couple of rigged coins. Sorry.
yeah. Bugged. But hey, that's it for Turn the Page this week. Thank you for listening. Every Monday, 9 a.m. CST, we put out new episodes. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Adios.